Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatam Vyasam Tata Jayamudrije Nashta Prayashu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So we're continuing reading from chapter 14. Chapter 14 is pregnancy of Diti in the evening. Verse number 40 from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. We'll chant the verse together. Praninam Anyamananam Dinanam Akrit Agasam Istrinam Nigrha Mananam Kopiteshu Mahatmasu Praninam Hanyamananam Dinanam Akrit Agasam Istrinam Nigrha Mananam Kopiteshu Mahatmasu Praninam Hanyamananam Dinanam Akrit Agasam Istrinam Nigrha Mananam Kopiteshu Mahatmasu. Praninam. Let me turn on see if it's okay. Okay. Praninam, when the living entities, Hanenanam, being killed, Dinanam of the poor, Akrita, Agasam of the faultless, Istrinam of the woman, Nigriha, Mananam, being tortured, Kopiteshu, being enraged, Mahatmasu, when the great souls. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ji ki Jai. Translation: they will kill poor, faultless living entities, torture women, and enrage the great souls. Purport: demoniac activities are predominant when innocent, faultless living entities are killed. Women are tortured and the great souls engaged in Krishna consciousness are enraged. In demoniac society, innocent animals are killed to satisfy the tongue, and women are tortured by unnecessary sexual indulgence. Where there are women and meat, there must be liquor and sex indulgence. When these are prominent in society, by God's grace, one can expect a change in the social order by the Lord Himself or by His bona fide representative. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananya Salakaya Chakshuran Malitam Jena Tasme Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Ham Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Chutapat Kamalam Shri Guru Nivashanamcha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadhavetam Savadutam Parijana Sangitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanam Cha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Hari. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyaksh Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patita Nam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnavi. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Srivasapadi Gauravat. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So we welcome all the devotees for connecting this morning to our Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So we're discussing the pastimes of Kashyapa Muni and Mother Diti. Shri Maitreya Muni is speaking to Viduru Maharaj, explaining this particular pastime. So we heard last many lectures, discussions, we heard the pastimes. So we will not spend much time discussing the particular pastimes. We know the story. We want to see some lessons for us from this pastimes. That Mother Diti apparently, we seeing here, came under the influence of mode of passion, and with her very scholarly, very lovingly, very caring words, she convinced her husband to indulge in this intimacy. And now Kashyapa Muni is explaining that, okay, this we have to see the consequences now. The consequences of not following the Maryada, not following the rules and regulations, not following the time, place, and circumstance, deviating for some few moments or second, there are some consequences. And what I'm seeing here in these verses, last 15, 20 verses, that Kashyapa Muni, who is very pure devotee of the Lord, very intimately connected with the Lord Shiva, and his wife Diti, Mother Diti, she's also very devoted to her husband and very much connected to Lord Shiva as well as a family, actually. They both are feeling morose. They both are feeling that we have done something that we should not have done. So that's a great quality. So I'm seeing this, that mistake is made, but also there is a moroseness. She had her head down and she expressed to her husband that please request Lord Shiva not to destroy the embryo in my womb. So Kashyapa Muni, he very also seeing the sensitivity of this relationship between husband and wife, but he's, because of his purity, he's tarkalagya, he knows what's next. So in this particular verse, or verse from yesterday, our Kalindi Mataji beautifully explained the consequences that Kashyapa Muni is mentioning, that these two, you will have, and he's in a sense, he's a little bit heavy on his wife, saying something what was said in last 2-3 verses. But here is somewhat, it's kind of a conclusion of what was said, that they will kill those what's in your womb, the children coming. They will kill poor, faultless living entities, torture women, and enrich the great souls. Um, so he's mentioning to his wife about the coming. In next 2-3 verses, you will see um, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu will born from Mother Diti because of this intimate relationship um, that mm, apparently at not the right timing. Um, so, mm, what do we learn? Mm, What do we learn from this pastime? Um, I was thinking um, one is devotee is very careful about the maryada, the etiquette, and follow the instructions of those who have paved that path, who have gone through their journey. Um, but even then, some mistakes are made or some slips are there. Um, but then devotee is morose. If there is a mistake made, devotee feels morose, devotee feels that I have done something that I should not have done. What do I learn from it? Uh, and how I can keep going instead of sitting on that mistake. So it's not just for himself, but for others also. Um, um, those who we're associating with, we're guiding. Um, but we notice in our own hearts, if we look in our own hearts, we notice sometimes uh, we become judgmental. We feel that mm, we are around for many years. Um, we There's so many other devotees who are new, they are getting married, or they just got married, or they have small children. But I have been married for many years, and I have been in Krishna consciousness for many years, and I've been chanting for many years. Not only that, I have produced children, and they also became devotees. So I am authorized. This mentality creeps in. I'm authorized to judge others, not only judge others, but criticize others. And I'm qualified to give guidance to others. Uh, so, one is to be ready to take guidance from others, but also when we develop this mood that I can give guidance to others, um, not only to the other devotees, but then we hear because these mistakes are happen, and especially in husband-wife relationships. Um, that's why Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, um, Daivi hi esh gunamai mama maya drutya. This my maya, my modes of three modes of material nature, it's very, very difficult to overcome. Daivi hi esh gunamai mama maya drutya. Mam ye prapadyante, those who surrender to me, maya evam tarantite. They can, they can, they can transcend the three modes. Um, so here is little catch, gocha, that somehow or another, because we read so much scriptures and we hear so much, we're chanting the holy names. And this third line, Mahamev Jo Prapadyante, we feel in our hearts that I am surrendered. Because I'm chanting, I'm hearing, I'm reading. I have surrendered to Lord Krishna. I'm worshipping the Lord. I'm so close to the deities. Therefore, Mayam evam trantite. I have actually transcended the three modes. This particular feeling in a subtle way creeps in. And that's what makes us judgmental. Not only we judge other devotees, but we judge even the demigods. We can also start judging here Kashyapa Muni and Mother Diti. In our heart of heart, we may start feeling that they are not so exalted. Hen peg husband, or Diti is giving birth to Asuras. Aditi is good because she is giving birth to demigods, not to Asuras. This mentality can creep in, and it's very dangerous. Because these demigods are these sages are very, very exalted. So even if there are apparently we see some slips or some mistake, but we should also understand that how in one of the lecture of Srila Prabhupada he mentioned all glories to Hiranyakashipu. And then Srila Prabhupada explains that if Hiranyakashipu would not have come, we would never have darshan of Lord Nrsingadev. We would have never heard the wonderful, wonderful stories of Prahlad Maharaj. So from that angle, we see that this apparent mistake that we see in our heart from Mother Diti or Kashyapa Muni is not necessarily a mistake. It was the divine will of the providence and the Lord that Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha is supposed to come. This is the timing. How would they have come? Some mother has to give them birth. And in this case, Kashyapa Muni and Diti, Mother Diti, taken that responsibility. So that's one lesson that I was driving, that's in my heart, that I wanted to share, that we want to see this in right perspective. And the second lesson is that Kashyapa Muni tried to guide his wife, tried to convince his wife with a few instructions, the positions of Lord Shiva, the positions of the demigods, and their blessings at the right time and what's not the right time. What we see, this is not just in case of Kashyapa Muni. Lord Shiva tried to convince Mother Sati, his wife, not to go to that assembly of her father Daksha Prajapati, because Lord Shiva is not invited. Even daughter is not invited. Don't go. Some dire consequences are there. I believe I mentioned in the last discussion, Lord Ram was trying to convince, Lakshmana was trying to convince Mother Sita about that golden deer that she's asking that I need it. Live or dead, I want that golden deer. So we become judgmental about Mother Sita, we become judgmental about Mother Sati, or Lord Shiva, Lord Ram. that they could have done, they should have done more to convince Mother Sita, Mother Sati. No, we don't want to. We want to see this as the divine arrangement of the Lord, that Ravana is supposed to be killed, that Daksha Pratap Prajapati is supposed to mm, go through this consequences of losing his head, and tremendous amount of lessons for all of us through these pastimes. Tremendous. So we can drive those lessons for our own selves, but not to judge the Lord and his pure devotees, intimate associates. That's very important. Once Srila Prabhupada, our Harishwari Prabhu tells this story, Srila Prabhupada gave a wonderful lecture talking about this mundane music, and not getting implicated in producing mundane music. And then next day, one of his disciples, he got married and he came to take blessings from Srila Prabhupada, and he said, Prabhupada, so please bless me. Now I'm in a Grihastha ashram, so I need some income and I will be producing this particular music, which was mundane music. And so Prabhupada said, okay. So Harichari Prabhu asked Srila Prabhupada, you just gave a lecture yesterday that don't deal with mundane music, and today you said okay. And Srila Prabhupada said, well, even if I said not okay, he would have done it anyway. And that would be a Guru Aparad, Avagya, against the Guru's instructions. So I didn't want him to get implicated in Guru Avagya. Therefore, I said okay. So this is science. It's very tricky. We see how Lord Krishna actually, to please Satyabhama, how he actually went to the heavenly planets, and there was a fight with Indra to get that Parijata tree for Mother Satyabhama. And he wanted to please Rukmini, so the tree was planted in such a way that Rukmini's palace also had flowers of the same tree. Because Mother Rukmini wanted flowers of Parijata, but Mother Satyabhama wanted the tree itself. So tree was grown in Satyabhama's palace, and flowers were hanging in the palace of Rukmini Devi. So these are what I'm trying to share here is the subtle arrangement of the Lord, especially in relation to husband wife, especially giving us so many lessons through those pastimes. It's very, very delicate. It requires tremendous amount of insight and wisdom to actually find these lessons for ourselves. And the last point I'll make, and we'll conclude, sometimes we, as an external, as an outsider, because for all these pastimes, we're outsiders. So from outsiders, we may judge, and then we may conclude something, but that may not be a right thing. And I'll share with you very quickly this experience of, last week I was in this country, Costa Rica, and I was taking some tours with a guide because I heard country is a big forest. So I wanted to see this forest and going through the mountains and villages. And I went for all day, and I was asking this tourist guide who was driving me around, the culture of the people and the country. And I was amazed because I didn't see many people smoking. So I was telling him, I don't see many people smoking. He said, yeah, there is a rule not to smoke, and there is you cannot advertise anything about smoking. about cigarettes and whatnot, and there is no advertisement, so people are concerned, and there's a lot of advertisement because the bad effect of smoking, and people sleep early. All the shops were getting closed at 6 o'clock. I said, how come everybody go home at 6 o'clock? He said, yes, people eat at 7, by before 7, and they wake up in the morning 5 a.m. And I said, oh, that's nice. Country is in a mode of goodness. Forest all around, beautiful mountains, beautiful villages, landscapes, valleys, nature is everywhere. And during my tour, I also saw thousands and thousands of beautiful cows with huge humps. So I asked him, I said, these cows are very special. Where did you get these hump cow? He said, these are Brahman cows. I said, yeah, that I know. These are Brahman. There is a in the Western countries, in Australia, UK, US, there is this breed of cows called Brahman cows. They have a huge hump. They came from India back in 1870, 1880. They were imported to America, and then somehow they were in Costa Rica. Hundreds and thousands of cows in different villages, in the pasturing grounds. So I was very happy to see that. There's so many cows. But then when I asked him, I said, these cows? He said, yes. I said, so you have so much milk? Because these cows are very special. They give very wonderful milk, Nectarian milk. He said, no, no, no. Every village has a butcher house. So these cows are butchered. They are given a lot of wonderful grasses so they can become big and meaty, so they can be killed. So that gave me some realizations that externally I was very impressed with the country, with the city, with the setup, with cows, with shops getting closed, people are getting home early. But then on a subtle level, on an internal level, when you see it's not the same. There's something wrong. This is what Srila Prabhupada is explaining this purport. In a demoniac society, innocent animals are killed to satisfy the tongue, and women are tortured by unnecessary sexual indulgence. And I noticed at night time in Costa Rica how many women and girls, they're getting indulged in sex, and it's like trafficking, sex trafficking, because cows are getting slaughtered in millions. I was looking last night, around 39 million pounds of beef getting exported from Costa Rica to US. So we'll stop here. So I'm getting closer to 7 o'clock. So we want to be careful about judging, even when we get very expert in our Krishna conscious activities. We bring wonderful children. We understand the scriptures. We know many, many verses. We want to be very, very careful judging and criticizing other devotees, especially these wonderful demigods and sages who are very close associates and intimate servants of the Lord in creating this material universe. I wanted to speak on Prahlad Maharaj, how Mother Diti actually gave Hiranyakashipu, who actually brought Prahlad Maharaj, who actually brought Bali Maharaj. So Mother Diti is responsible for giving us two Mahajans, Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj. And for both of those two avatars, Lord Nrsimhadev came and Vamandev came. So we want to see from that angle the contributions of Mother Diti and Kashyapa. Thank you very much. पंचकल्पतरुर्गस्य कृपासिन्धुश्च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Madhupati Prabhu, you can please take from here.
Haribol. Thank you, Dekan Prabhu. So, we'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. So, we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Narsingha, Jai Narsingha, Jai Jai Narsingha, Kaladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Linga, Ugravira Mahavishnu, Anantam Sarvatam Mukam, Narsingham Vishnam Bhadram,
Namamyam.
Narsingh Bhagwan ki Jai,
Jai.
Prahlad Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai. Let's offer our obeisances to all the Tamil Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripanam
Pavanebhyo
Vishnu
Namaha.
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hari 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 Bol.
Hare
Krishna. Thank you everybody.
Thank
Hari
you,
Bol.
Devakinandan.
Hare
That was
Krishna.
wonderful class. Thank you.